Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
A lot of times clients want that we want to automatically advance a candidate or decline a candidate to a particular stage. Like, we don't want any manual intervention of recruiter or manager, any other security group. We want the candidate to be moved forward to a particular stage automatically on a basis of a condition. That is called the automatic stage routing. How to configure it? Just go to your job application VP. In view mode and go at the bottom. For example, if you want to move a candidate from review stage to any forwarded stages or you want to decline him, you need to go into that particular stage and click on that. Configure automatic stage routing. If you want to automatically advance or decline from assessment, then you need to go into this and configure it over here. For example, if from review, if I click here, there is a rule already attached, and it will navigate it to the highest stage. I think you have gone through this as well. I could see that. This is the automatic stage. What is that rule you have put in? I created the rule for different reasons for job rec. This is also totally fine. If this is the reason for doing the hiring on the job requisition, then it will move it to hire. But it will move all the candidates from review to hire directly. I think you wanted to test the hire VP. It was job rec. The reason on job rec, if I select the reason is specific, then I want to scale. It was something else. This is toggling only. In the hire VP, did you enable the initiation step to toggle automatically? No, I did not. I'm not even aware of this toggling step. This toggling is still incomplete. You need to go into your hire VP again. This is You have only one step right now. Just go. Business process. And I think on the first step, it is not possible. It should come here somewhere here. Automatic stage routing. How about you create a new rule and add here? I don't think. I'll do that. This is called configure automatic stage routing or toggling is the same term. This is automatic stage routing. I'll just select already created rule that age is 18. Age of 35. Let me see the rule. Age compensation greater than 25. This is the age only. And it will. If the age is 35, then we want to either decline him or we want to move him to the next possible step. Let me move into offer directly, and if I select anything else, if job profile is hourly, then I would want to decline him. And this is the possible disposition reason I would be giving, which would be reflected in the candidate's communication that does not meet qualification. That is how we can automatically advance or decline. Quite one thing. I now need to look into the offer, maybe also. If I go to this BP, then toggle automatic stage routing. Just click on. That's it. And your setup is completed. And this is a very important feature. Everyone asked for it. Here you could see the automatic stage routing enabled. You can test this particular conditions as well, and you will see the candidate moving forward or declining automatically. The next thing which we can do is to decline remaining job applications for a candidate or to decline remaining candidates. For that, I'll be going into your hire BP. Here it says we get those options. It's a batch. Here they're talking about ready for hire BP. In that we will be putting in. But in client's tenant, we can put it in hire also. I've done that, but let's look at the ready for hire in this tenant. There's one. Work delivered, step of batch type decline remaining jobs. If a candidate has applied to multiple job applications for different profiles, and if we get selected for any one of it, the remaining job application should be removed from the system. This particular process will do that. And there's another delivered step called decline remaining candidates. For a particular position, a lot of candidates are there, and if the position gets filled, we want the rest of the candidates to be moved out of the system. Workday will automatically run the batch and decline those candidates with the required disposition reason. That is how it could be done. The declining remaining job is for only for one, that candidate whose remaining application will be disposed. And but for the remaining candidate or remaining candidates will be disposed. Yes, automatically it would be done by Workday. This automatic stage routing is an option to use. The automatic stage routing is different. This is different. These are 3 extra features which could be added. And we definitely tell this to the client. Even if they don't want to know, we still include these at least in our BPs and we explain them. The feature of stage routing. This is only we can add in the hire. In the ready for hire. Yes, we can definitely in the hire also. I've added in some of my clients' tenant. It depends upon the security also how the step was done during the migration of the implementation suite recipes. That's why I think in the hire BPO, where it is not coming. But in ready for hire definitely could be added. But this automatic state routing is only. It can be used in multiple stages. Automatic state routing could be in any of the stages of job application. And we can move it forward or decline the candidate. Can we talk a little bit about the disposition, how we manage them, and we don't talk about the disposition. Disposition is like maintain. This is the task to create the reasons. These are the reasons, and we have to map it to Workday delivered logic whether it is rejected. He was rejected by the Workday or whether the candidate declined. We definitely have to map our reasons to Workday delivered logics. And then we can also enable our reason for a particular functionality, like candidate withdrew. In that case, we can enable this. Workday will automatically map that if the candidate has withdrawn, then this particular reason would be going like the candidate would not be in the system. And there would be a reason on his name that he has withdrawn. That would be automatically coming on his profile. Then disposition remaining jobs. We have seen in ready for hire, we have added the step decline remaining jobs. We can decline the remaining jobs of the candidate who got selected for a particular profile. the reason of that declining would be selected over here. And right now we have enabled it for this candidate has hired already. This message would be going into the candidate's home account for the rest of his job applications. That is how we do the mapping. Then for disposition remaining candidates, for that also we need to select a particular reason. Job opening is no longer available. Automatically, the candidate would be declining. He would go into his candidate home account and see the status of the job as rejected or declined. And there would be this reason also coming up as a statement under the job application status. Then default disposition when candidate is first. Purging is moving him out of the system due to certain reasons. We can maintain that as well. But I have not seen maintain this purging as of now. But these three are always maintained in the system. Can we add more reason? Like if you have, definitely. We can add any number of reasons, but the mapping is only to rejected or declined. And then we have to go into a job application, VP. For each stage, like from each stage, if a candidate is being declined, we have to maintain disposition region for each of the stages. First, scroll down. When a candidate is being rejected or he is being withdrawn or whatever, only these possible disposition reasons would come in the drop down for the recruiter or manager if they are declining. If the candidate withdrew, then this is the reason which would be coming up. Then if the candidate is being declined or rejected from assessment. These are the possible disposition reasons. Similarly, we have to maintain it for each and every stage. We can have different disposition. Reason for different stages of definitely. We have to look into that. Oh, I forgot sharing one document. You asked for the change of recruitment. I'll definitely share it. You have moved the candidate higher and ready for higher VP got triggered for you, and the higher should also have been triggered. But it didn't trigger for you. The higher V. Also because you have not maintained it. I've seen like you have maintained it with only single step. Most steps. You need to configure it properly. And then this higher VP will also get triggered once you complete your ready for hire. Most steps. That's why is not been triggered. Make sure you are doing this and change your VP on that trigger. If you are changing the job of the candidate by creating a prospect of him first, then job application, then moving across the job requisition and ready for hire. Then is changeover trigger from recruitment. Otherwise, if you are just going on to his profile and going to the related action and from that change is getting triggered. then that changeover is from the HCM perspective. I'll share one document with you regarding that you become more clear on that. And you can also test just look out for contingent. Just create a job requisition for temporary filling and create a prospect. And create job application for him. And wherever it is written, no employee type support, part-time or whatever. And just move him across recruitment and see which VP will get triggered after ready for hire. It would be contract contingent worker. That should not the hire VP. And if, let's suppose you have existing contingent work in the system. And now, if you're creating a prospect of his profile, and then you are moving him across the job requisition, and then doing the hiring, then what will trigger? Convert to employee, that VP will get triggered. For the existing contingent worker, you can do such kind of testing, but I will share one document with you. And add job is for what? Add job you want to add. Add job is like if you want to add a secondary job to the person's profile. Like change, always transfer, promote or demote, something like that. Add job is you're going to add a secondary job. You'll have this primary job also and secondary job also. Whereas change is completely a different primary job. It means like overlapping, like the overlapping or no. Overlapping is the case where a single position is being held by two people. Add job could be the secondary job which we are going to tag into. It could not be like definitely be aligned to somebody else also. Here doesn't the job overlap feature doesn't come here. In which scenario do we use this add job? Like person has one job. Well, maybe get another project or assignment. Yes, I was about to say that. A job could be like your tag to one implementer's project, or you could also be tagged to support project or enhancement project. Or you're tagged to one proper capability and due to some reason, due to some requirement crunches, you might be tagged to some other profile also, like PMO or some internal trainer, something like that. Then we have to move. We have to create new job reg. If you want to move with process through recruiting, we have to create job reg, move through our stage of job. Yes, through recording. But if we go to the profile over there, also you can from HCM Insight initiate, add job. And the promotion is also we can change. Change my. She is right now logged in as herself. I could see add job and this transfer promoter change on this is different. If I click on change job, what are possible reasons are there? Let's see. whether there's some change in his data, the motion, laterals, promotion, or transfer. These are the change your answers. That's what I was thinking. These processes should be only triggered via from their profile, from HCM side. Why their edited job application. The job application also provides this feature, like you can transfer him, like you can create a new, like if you're transferring him. There could be a job break with different locations. You're going to hire him over there to recruitment. That could be done through recruitment, or change up could also be triggered from the Workday. Provides two ways of doing the things. And also promotion is not there in job. Change your promotion is like he's moving on to a different job requisition. Through recruitment. Also, we can do the hiring at a different job pick. Our job is like Bob and this is the employee. And why we are doing this, change our job, and what is the position we are going to add then. What would be his job profile, time type, everything over there, any additional details and just some. Here we are matching a different position. We are adding a job. And for promotion. For promotion, you would be just simply moving him to different job. Who will be the manager after this change? Which team will this person be on this? What will be this person be located at? Change is also a template-driven BP. Here we are going to define what would be his position. Next position. Then what would be his next job profile? Business title, everything they are going to change. What would be his location? Any other details? When he would be promoted? And attachment and everything? Just a second. This is change on. And compensation. There are different VPs for change job also, add job also. We can look out to the right, same concept, but this is how it looks like. The BP will be same. Either we configure them from job record, we trigger them from a profile. The higher BP will also be same. Change job will also be same, add job also. And contract contingent work. Everything would be same. Is this ready to hire and hire? How much is the difference? These are both two separate. Ready for hire is a BP, which gives the approval that now we can proceed with one of the four other sub-BPs depending upon the type of candidate. In ready for hire, we are going to select the staffing action type, whether it would be hire or change job or whatever. Ready for hire is part of recruitment only. Hire is BP. Hire BP would be triggered in any of the ways, whether the person is being hired from recruitment or HCM way. But hire BP would include the onboarding steps and everything. Ready for hire, they don't include onboarding step. Proposed compensation assigned role is small. Ready for hire, Just include the approval step for the staffing action, which would be triggered after the recruitment team is done with their work. Ready to hire is mandatory, and after this we get option, either hire or add job, change job, and everything. Ready for hire is a stage in recruitment and it has its own sub BP. We cannot skip that BP. Understand? In your client's tenant. How is it? Is it ready for hire or hire? They are ready to hire. Yes, they do hire. Then we have hire and then all the hired similarly, which we have here. I also wanted to discuss about candidate pool today. There are two types of candidate pool, static and dynamic. The task for that is let's look into static first. As the name suggests, static is like we are going to include the workers in our pool one time and they would be here forever. There won't be any dynamic addition of any other workers. We have to manually add people into our pool. If I click here, we can assign roles also at candidate pool level. We could have talent pool administrator or recruiter or whatever. This is another point. You can remember that we can assign roles at candidate pool level also. Once we have selected started type, Workday will show us this feature to find the candidates now and add it to your pool. This is the report, Find Candidate. We have facets over here and we can just select the criteria and include the people that we can add to pool. This particular report is used for multiple purposes, as is related to pool right now. I'll just add them to the pool. Whether we want to add to candidate pool, succession pool, or candidate tab, succession pools are part of talent. We have succession plans of pools where we keep collection of candidates who would be taking up the role or particular position in future. For example, we have a succession plan for CEO position. We have plans for a particular position. If you have a plan for CEO over there, we'll include the list of candidates who would be the next upcoming CEOs who would be fighting. And they would be in a table format where the data would be comparable. It basically includes their readiness level, their achievable level, their loss impact, like how ready they are to be moving into the next role of CEO. This is the feature of succession plans or pools, to keep a collection of candidates who would be fighting or who would be compared for the next high-level position. But over here we are talking about candidates pool only, and Workday automatically selects the pool which I have created. I'll just click on. What is this? The candidate tag. Candidate tag is basically a way of connecting one object to another. If we want to, for example, in talent, if we want to associate our employer's goal to competencies, that is done through talent tags. Similarly, we have candidate tags also. Again, I'll show you which all candidate tags are there. Wait, let me just show you quickly the one which I have created. Currently, it doesn't have any candidates. Let me check. I have selected. I think I added it in. I added it in. Candidate. I'll show you. It has 20 candidates right now, and it will remain 20 only if we don't add anything manually. And this is how the table view looks like. Those candidate location, title, certification, skills, resume and candidate tags are not mentioned here as of now. It would be blank. A few of them already have tags like experience or tech experience. They are being tagged to a particular candidate tag, which would then be used for reporting purpose. If we create a report and in that we put a filter of candidate tag equal to each I experience, then all the candidates who have this tag on their record, all of them would be fetched in that report. Tagging is basically for reporting purpose. If I show you, maintain candidates tag. These are the ones currently in the system. Then if I cancel it, let me show you talent, also how they look like. The task looks a bit different. Talent. As for development items could be like, development items could be tagged to these things. Feedback could be tagged to this competency. Goal could be tagged to these competencies through development item and feedback. This is something different. Candidate tag is different. Then I think we also have worker tag. I don't know if it would be there in the system. Time calculation tags are there. Absence tags are there. Then here comes the schedule. Tags to worker. I don't know what these are, but tags are basically for reporting purpose. Here they are selected. This is something for future. Running scheduling is like for future. Setting up launch events for future. Time, but just remember, tags are for reports. Now let's create. Dynamic pool. We can define the role. Whatever assignable rules we have created where we have enabled it for candidate pools, all of them would be coming up with a help and we can assign it to a particular position. Like, We have all these filters available by Workday by how we can filter out the candidates. Like if we are selecting country would be India. Automatically, whichever candidates are there in the tenant for India location, all of them would be fetching up. And if in future also certain candidates are being created in the system for country India, they will also automatically be part of this dynamic pool. Dynamic pool automatically updates their candidates based on certain criteria. And these are the criteria for Workday provides. I'll just click on it. We also have to add the candidate manually. Here we don't have to add manually here. We just have to select the condition and Workday will fetch. For static, we have to. Let me show you. And we can always edit the candidate pool also. It is not allowing me to edit. Notice. Here I have selected India. I put select. Automatically, the count has increased. Generally, most of the recruiters, they maintain dynamic pools only. But there are certain features which doesn't allow the usage of dynamic. For example, if a manager wants to roll out goals for its employees, for its direct reportees, then he could only do it on static candidate pool. You cannot do it on dynamic. That is one drawback. There's when the static pools are used. But you don't have to remember what is the importance of a type of candidate pool. Just remember what is the difference between these two. That's it. Why do they need this recruiter if they want to apply now? This is just a way of maintaining collection of candidates. And they want to be. They would be just coming onto this pool and searching for the candidates. And based on criteria, they can then move them forward. They can move them forward to job application or certain stages in the job application. And secondly, was this looking at this option, the invite to apply. These are candidates. They already applied to the job application. By candidate, I mean they are the prospects made. They would then be included in the job application. And they may be invited to apply or manually, this the recruiter can apply. Invite to apply. That was for the find candidate job. Find candidate report. This is how Workday has provided us these buttons. For that, we can invite them to apply. That is also possible. These candidates, here they are prospected. They are not candidates. I think they are the candidates also. I think, for example, I think he is an employee already. Maybe he is a candidate as well for some profile. That's why he is coming up over here. but not all of them are prospects. It means that Find Candidate report, it could have prospect and active candidates. And I think employee as well. Sometimes, I find we are just seeing more. They are employees also. It could be a thing that their candidate profile has been created for some other job profile. They are in process of being hired into some other profile. I think they should be. Workday, they should be a little bit more verification. They should be Find Prospect, Find Candidate and Find Employee. Absolutely true. Why are they confused? These kind of ask is already there. In the community, we have put these things already in the system and they have created their own timelines. Workday has created the timeline when they're going to provide this feature in future. All these things are already in the pipeline. And they are aware about this. With search by prospect, you can edit that. But I think you can have candidate type mention. Wait. On the Find Candidates report. You could also create your own copy of this Find Candidate and include the filters over there. I think this is for a time. There's an option to filter here. Only you can do prospect. Potential candidate for my work. These are the only ones available right now for Find Candidate. The prospect status would be like active. I think new contacted not to be. What is nurturing means like nurturing means? We have contacted them also and we have told them that we are going to look. There would be a job opening soon and we are going to utilize. These are maintained types. We can configure these prospect types. And if you want to search for active candidates, because that should also be an issue, active candidates by stage. I think they're loading it. These are the stages and these are the candidates. You can search for all recruitment related standard reports in the system. And you can look out for that. And my recruiting jobs related to prospects. Find candidates. It includes all candidates. Basically the potential candidates and the former employee that you have access to. Then my candidates would be the candidates who applied to your job requisition or the prospects that you added to your prospect list. Then my recruiting jobs. This will give number of active candidates for your job requisitions. Then we can create custom reference IDs for candidates. If you remember, In the edit and setup task, we have looked into the ID sequence generator section. Over there, we saw default IDs for requisitions. We can do it for employees, also candidates, also prospects as well. Over there, we can maintain the format of the IDs which would be attached to the profile. Then set up notification for candidates. There are majorly two types of notifications related to candidates. One is the active candidate. Another one are the recruiting marketing mails like the job alerts. And active candidate communications are like the notifications which we put on the VPs of the job application stages. And those notifications go into the Gmail ID of the candidate or to the inbox of the candidate home account. Just for your knowledge perspective, it's an HCMN concept. There are three types of notifications in Workday. Majorly, one are the simple notifications, like how we go to the VP and over there we go to the related action and add notification. And then we include the email body and the recipient. That is the simple way. The second way is to notify certain users who have pending tasks in the inbox. From your configuration perspective, schedule task alert notification. This is the second type of notification. These are called the alert notifications. We would be defining the request name. Then we would be also defining that how many days have passed since your inbox item is still pending. We can define and we would be calculating the number of days based on whether the assignment date, like when this inbox item came into your inbox, or based on the due date, or before date, or none of the above. And for which business process we want to trigger, we can do that. And if we have any alert rules, we can include it. Then here we could define the subject, message and additional security groups to notify. You might have heard about alert notification. These are what it is. These are for all the users who have pending tasks in the inbox. Then the third type of notification is the advanced notification for specific group. And it is like if based on a condition, we want to send out a notification, then we use this. And for this we use the task one, figure alert. It asks for a custom report. Report name. Report will fetch us the audience or the list of all the workers whom this alert should go. And then we'll add our condition rule. Also, your condition rule is already there in the report in the form of filters. Automatically those people would be getting it. If I select any random report as of now, request name the type of notification, whether it is anniversary, internal notification time of our upcoming shift. We can do that. And here are the report parameters. It doesn't include anything. Then do we want to include any task in the alert? Then who are the recipients? Email notification and the subject. We can make. This is an optional configuration defaulting to general notification. We can based on these conditions or based on the people we have selected. We can define the task or any information. This could be the general information. Like we can see that the data updated this upcoming anniversary of the company. Something like this, like how we get the company. We get inbox from the company, update every day, right? Update, or like suppose there's a new office going to open up. It's a general notification, right? Or there would be arrival of some onshore people. Please be present. Like that kind of notifications. These are mostly the general notification. General birthdays, anniversaries, time offs, all these things. And what is the purpose of adding this report in there? Report add-in. It generally filters out the list of people who are going to get this notification. Like we have find candidate report, right? It includes list of all the prospects and the employee, former employee. It is fetching out, it is filtering out the people. Then we have a find worker report. It is including all the workers in the system. Like that, we can have our custom reports also. Where we are, let's suppose including all the workers of the location India. We can put this filtration and automatically that report will fetch all the workers based out of India. These are the three types of notifications. Setting up notification, two types. Then these are the domains and tasks related to setting up the message templates for the active candidates and the recruiting marketing security segment. No need of going into this as of now. Then we have a tenant-wide configuration which we need to look into in the task edit and set up notification. And here are these steps. It's a very generalized one-time tenant configuration for all of our three types of notifications which I just mentioned. We can do it and it is for modules. Each modules we can look into. Like it will improve the channel type, whether it would be through mobile push or whether through email. And what would be the frequency, whether immediately or daily or monthly or like that. Enable candidate to unsubscribe from the marketing notifications. That could also be done. These are the options to do that. A step to do it. If you want to explore, you can do that. Then setting up the reminders. Reminders are different than the notifications. Reminders are like, for example, you have a training to be completed by end of this month. There would be reminders as the notifications which will tell you that now 3 days are pending, 2 days are pending, 1 day is pending. Those are called the reminder type of notifications. One we have alerts, one other reminders. I have seen reminders being added on the learning campaigns or various other campaigns. Campaigns are, for example, you get annual compliance training in your email, ID on your email. Same assignment is given to all the workers in the system. It is done through campaigns. We add reminders. Over there we can set up the reminders also. What are these campaigns? Campaigns are from learning perspective. I'll tell you. It is a way of mass assigning certain people in the system a certain feature. Like it could be a training also, it could be a task also, it could be a to-do task, anything. It could be a task like update your skills, update your profile in the system that are done through campaign where we want to do some functions on masses. That is a different thing. No need of looking into it. Configure profile group, configure profiles. All these are HCMM tasks. You should be aware about these as well. We have worker profile, right? There we see the tabs of compensation or overall summary career feedback. All those are configured using configure profile group. We know how to create prospect. Then comes the concept of resume parsing. Resume parsing is Workday delivered functionality where Workday asks us to just submit your resume and he will pre-populate certain fields like the first name, last name, some of the employment history, school, and maybe your address also. Those resume parsing options are available on these tasks. If you open create prospect or create job application, if you put resume, it will pre-populate certain features. Then manage candidate pool. We have seen two types of tools are there. In dynamic pool, we can add 5,000 members, and in static, we could have 20,000 members. In static, we have to add manually. In dynamic, automatically it would be added based on search criteria. Then there's also another feature of candidate merging. Let's suppose a candidate applies to multiple job applications. For each of application, we don't want his candidate record to be there in the database because it would be very waste. We can just enable automatic candidate merging on the edit and setup. HCMN task or recruitment task, I don't remember. We just need to enable that checkbox and Workday will take care of it and how they will find out the duplicates. They will find out if their first name, last name matches and any one of the other criteria like email, phone number or address. Domains like candidate merge domain and formal worker storage domain. For formal worker storage, users secured to this domain can access information on formal workers. And candidate merge domain is basically for merging the candidate or enabling the automatic merging in the system. Then we can have the task find duplicates for candidates. If there are any duplicates in the system and those are yet not mapped. Using this report, we can do it. Then we can merge those candidates as well. Manually also, we can do that. But I have always seen client asking for Workday automatic enablement of candidate merging. We don't do it manually because it is very compulsive. We don't want to look into the duplicates and then merge them. We don't have that much time. This automatically candidate merging. Just going to edit 10 set up recruitment tasks. Enable automatic candidate merging. Just click on it and Workday will take care of it. Then when you enable automatic candidate merging on the edit 10, set up recruiting task, Workday searches for duplicates for candidates who applies to a job on external career site. And then automatically Workday will merge the candidates with any duplicates. And Workday doesn't automatically merge two candidates if at least one of them has a registered candidate home account. If there's a candidate home account created already for one of the candidates, then Workday will not merge them. This is the condition. And how the algo is run for merging. I've already told you first name and last name, and any one of these fields should be exactly matching up. And how to different position or two different applications. Still it will be merged. the record could be merged, like the candidate account, but they still would be asked to. They will still have separate job application. But you must have seen if you're applying again. You have applied, let's suppose, in Deloitte already, and after 6 months you again try to apply with the same credentials. Then recruiter might say that your details are already there in the system. That is the concept of duplicate candidates. They ask you to either create a different email ID and then start with the job application. First name and last name is same. First name, last name should be same. And along with at least one of these fields should match. Only then it would be considered duplicate. Because in real life, the green up reports sometimes apply to good company and they get rejected. They don't apply again. They said we are already in system. Is it to apply again? I think some companies also have freezing periods where if you are rejected, you cannot reapply again. But if that freezing period is gone, then even if your record is there in the system still, you will be able to apply if the system allows. And if they say there's already a record, then you have to give any of these different things. Like your phone number should be different or email address. This has happened with me. I applied in Deloitte and they asked me to change my email address and then apply. One more thing. We can also request the purge data request and then the your all information. Yes, we have a task for purging also as well as merging. I think purging is better if you apply some way to get selected to purging data and then apply again. Purging should also be there. Everybody is not aware of purging. I said that's true. Third, coach can read data. You try to select the report again which population you want. And then they can. This will include the list of all the people, all the things which should be post related to the candidate. And also, what are things should be pushed? Do we want reminders to be removed or in system, from system? Person's username, person sign-ons, person's reminders. We can select the type of data to be pushed. And if we want custom objects also to be pulled, we can do that as well. Thank you for Ken. We will go view report on selected population. Right now, this report doesn't include any people. But we can have people also included in the report. The person who apply for purging his name will populate here. And then once we purge, confirm it, and then that person will be removed from the system. I think you have worked on this, right? I think no, it's definitely a good thing. Because sometimes like what happens if a prospect says we want things to be deleted from the system. Or if a former employees are, we should have that option available. Merging is also possible. Merging is like you merge the two profile, is not like you don't delete it, it's still there. It's opposite of purging, right? For example, if a candidate, there's an active candidate, let's go Shilpa, and she has applied to 3 openings. And what happens for basic general report of the prospect profile would be same. If you want to merge it again, for merging also there is criteria that first name, last name should match and any one of the exact field should match which I've shown you, and then only the merging could occur. Merging is basically putting all these applications on one place, one record. If we search for the candidate name, only one record would become. We have a different application, but one record which shows everything. Also, I have shared one activity this week. It's just an end-to-end activity. You can just practice that this week and next week. We will look into your doubts and we'll have a mock interview. I have certain questions. We can go through that just to check. How is your understanding of recruitment? After I share certain resumes which you can use to just enhance your resume and see how we can discuss further for your future interviews and how you should prepare for your future interviews. And I'll share the job document as well. And please start going through that ebook. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.